Hello everyone, my name is Jeff Kortis. I'm a sales engineer here with MRI Software. And on this Whiteboard Wednesday, we're going to be talking a little bit about business intelligence. So just to set the stage for you, about 90% of the world's data has been generated just within the last 2 years. And on average, based on a Forrester survey, about 12% of that data is actually being analyzed by the businesses that have generated it. So what we're going to do today is give you an overview of the business intelligence landscape and talk a little bit about how MRI thinks about that in terms of our solutions. So just generally speaking, in the business intelligence sector, which is a very broad term, you have a number of different options. You have reports, you've got Excel, you've got different dashboards that you may have generated or built, and then you have software that's also going to provide you the ability to overlay onto your data to generate these different options. So within the MRI platform, you've got a couple different ways that data is being generated. From your day-to-day end users, talking about entering in data on your tenants, on your residents, vendors, and properties, all the way to some of the accounting information that's being entered through journals, generating balance sheets, performing aggregations for the portfolio, and talking about net operating income and things like that. So in the simplest form, all of that data is being generated in something that's probably going to look very similar to this. And if anybody has taken a look at Excel lately, or you've gone into the MRI option, you've seen something that looks very similar to this, that all of your data is being stored in, which is your basic grid. So all of that information now is being stored and segmented so that it can now be fed into a business intelligence engine to then analyze it. So when we talk about MRI, we talk about data segmentation through these grids, but then that leads itself to the next piece of this, which is to turn that information, or to turn that data, I should say, into items like a report. So generating reports like balance sheets, like income statements, like rent rolls, and then packaging those together in a reporting packet to send off in PDF or Excel format to investors, to board members, or just to C-level information folks within the organization. Now that's sort of the very first step of a business intelligence option within MRI. Now the next part of this is taking it into a bit more of an advanced approach, which is lending itself to the data visualization aspect, which, very simply speaking, to give you an idea of this, everybody's probably familiar with, is a standard bar graph. So the bar graph was actually invented back in 1789, and it's still used as one of the primary business intelligence tools today because it offers that quick insight into the data without having to look at raw metrics and remember and perform a computation in your head. So that's just a general concept when we talk about MRI. You have reports and standard dashboards that we offer within the platform. And then we also have a more advanced option which gets into some of these visualizations, like our analytics product, that's a bit more higher end and a bit more in-depth as far as an analysis standpoint. So that's an overview of the business intelligence landscape. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll go into more detail on the first step of this process, talking about the MRI reporting ecosystem and our standard dashboard capabilities.